That was not the episode I was expecting. Not at all. Not at all. Let's talk about it. Oh, am I disappointed? Does anyone else feel like this final episode about Garrison somehow turned into the Cody episode? Not happy about that. Okay, let me just say that last week I recorded my reaction video on Monday. I had a crazy week all week long. So it took me all week to get the video out because, like, I'd have 15-minute increments here, there, in different spots, and I was trying to quickly edit little pieces until I could get through the whole thing and finally upload it and just get it out. By the time I got to Saturday, I was like, wait a minute, where's this pilgrimage? I thought this was a lovely idea. I was on board with the idea of Cody doing this pilgrimage with his son. I thought it was lovely. I thought it was touching. I thought it was beautiful. I was doing my best to appreciate the fact that a father had lost his son. And as much as I don't like Cody, I did not want to take away from the fact that a father still had lost his son. But boy, this episode, I struggled. I struggled through it because prior to this episode, at the very end of the last one, by the time I got finished editing it, I thought, this whole pilgrimage that he's talking about, where is it? They took a little vacation. He took his wife and his kids. They went, they had ice cream. He's showing off all the signs he made. Oh, wait, no, he didn't make any of them. He sold them.
Who cares about that?
So proud, though. So proud of himself. We got to see all of that. They're riding in carriages. They're going to watch a show. They're going out to dinner. That's what we saw. We saw nothing about, this is where I did this with Garrison. This is where I went here with Garrison. It was nothing about Garrison. We didn't see anything about a pilgrimage. We saw Cody and Robin take their kids on a vacation, right? Frustrating. So I'm thinking, obviously, the pilgrimage is going to happen in this episode. Did it? I mean, maybe. Did I miss it? Was Garrison even with them this whole time?
Unclear.
We know that he was digging the burial spot, that he wanted to be a part of that. Janelle was on board. I respect Janelle. Janelle was happy that he was going to do it. She was also happy he was doing the pilgrimage. I don't know if after Janelle sees this episode, if she's going to be as happy as she once was when she agreed to all of this. I hope she is. I hope that's all I can say. I hope she is. I hope I'm just being judgmental. I don't want to be judgmental. I got to stop being judgmental. Whew, I need to pull back. I got to pull back. The number of times in this episode Cody talked about himself.
Too many to count. 20, 30?
He even went back to talk about how he was the first one to hold his son. We had that same conversation before. It wasn't the same words. They didn't cut and paste it from the previous episode to this one. He said it again. Said it slightly differently, but said the exact same thing. I was the first one to hold him. It's not about you right now, Cody. Oh, my word. Garrison's funeral. This was supposed to be your pilgrimage to honor him. And this is the show that's following it. Because everyone who followed the show loved Garrison. You have to know people who are following the show don't love you. Really, this was Cody's one chance. This was really his one chance to really humble himself and make it not about him at all. Make it all about his son. I think people would have seen him in a different light. I think I would have. I don't know. I don't know because we didn't have the opportunity. Didn't happen. I'm so angry. I really went into this. I went into the beginning of it like all prepared to be empathetic and sympathetic and really willing to give him the space to use his words or Robin's words or whoever's words to grieve in his own unique way. I don't know if making it all about yourself is a way of grieving in your own unique way. Maybe it is. I need to learn to give him grace, but I'm struggling, people. I'm struggling. Listen, I'm human. All right, let's go through some of this. I'm just going to do it in chunks. I'm not going to do like I normally do and just go through every single line and all that, because the whole first 80% of it, not thrilled, really. Minus the fishing scene. That was nice. It was really good to see all the kids together too, right? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's see what we can talk about. It's going to be a short video. I've said that so many times, but I really think this is going to be a short video. Let's see. All right, so the episode opens up lovely. And this is the fishing scene that I said is nice. And it's very interesting at the beginning because Janelle points out that the majority of what's happening on this trip is coordinated and planned by all the kids.
I texted Cody and Robin the plans. I texted Mary the plans. Christine and I have done some coordination, but the kids have really been driving this trip, planning all the activities and what day and when and everything. So
she texted them all the plans. So we look at the whole fishing situation. No Cody and Robin, no Cody and Robin kids. Not a surprise, but it appears that they were invited. Mary was not there either. But Audrey and Leon were there. McKelty and her kids were not there. I remember her mentioning it on the Patreon. I don't remember her having a good reason why. If I recall correctly, and somebody can mark it down below, anyone who follows her Patreon, I feel like she just said, oh, the family's getting together multiple times in the course of the summer, and because we've got young kids and the twins, we can't go to everything, so we had to pick and choose. So we weren't going to go to the Wyoming one. We're doing something else. I think they were going to Disneyland once, and they were meeting in North Carolina. At the time, they were still in Utah. So I think they thought that North Carolina would be really nice because of all the kids meeting with Maddie's kids. So they were maybe doing the Disney and the North Carolina one and not doing the Wyoming one. But Wyoming's the actual burial. I don't know. Maybe they just thought the kids were too young and they'd be too wild and it would be disruptive. No say.
Who else was there that morning?
Extended family members too. There was some girl who was holding Evie. Never saw the girl before in my life. It could have been a niece that lives in Wyoming. Let's see, who did I see? I saw Hunter. I saw Gabe. I saw Gwendolyn and Bea. I saw Isabel, Aspen and Mitch. I saw Truly. I'm going to have to get back to you on Savannah. I can't remember if I saw Savannah. I did notice Logan was there, but I did not see Michelle. Again, that doesn't mean she wasn't there. There were multiple people whose faces were blurred out. I saw Peyton. Peyton made me cry. Maddie, Caleb, and their kids. Off the top of my head, that's all I can remember. If more come to my head or as I'm skimming through this, if I see any more faces, I'll let you know. Because I know not everybody's seen it. Some of the other countries, they don't get it for another week or two. I think some of my Netherlands viewers, or is it Finland, that they don't get it for like 2 weeks. Was it there or was it Ireland? Anyway, some people don't get it for a while, so I'm trying to give you as much information as I can.
Update.
Okay, update. Savannah was there. I figured she would be, but I just couldn't remember. Yes, Savannah was there, and then Christine does talk about how she was looking through photos and she came across Savannah's graduation and she saw some pictures of Garrison there. Now, when we saw Savannah's graduation on the show, they had edited it so that we didn't see Garrison really in that episode. I mean, it may have been like an arm in the background or something, but at that point, he had already passed, but the show hadn't caught up to that, so they had him, as they did the whole season, didn't have Garrison in it. Because TLC is so far behind, we all know. So it was really nice for her to show a photo of Garrison with Savannah. And then she talks about how Garrison really didn't like his photo to be taken, so they don't have a lot of photos. So Christine is making a point to take as many photos as she wants, and that's a lot, of all the kids, whenever she wants to.
There's so many people. So Maddie and Caleb and their kids, Janelle and Savannah, David and I, Isabel and Truly. We're just going to have some fun. Before we finish, can I get everyone's picture in front of the leg? Could we do a picture here? She's asking so nice of you guys. I want a picture right here. Garrison didn't like his photo being taken. He didn't. It means that we don't have enough. I like this. I don't want the car. Can we move that way a little bit? Hi, babe.
That's a good mantra. I'm glad she's doing that, and I think that's going to motivate me to do that more often. When my kids were small, that was my mantra. I took photos all the time. Photos, 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 photos. But since they've grown, I really haven't done that. They're still my kids. Why am I not taking photos? It's not right. I need to take more photos. There's a very sweet scene. Just watching them all fish together. There are a few people there fishing that I don't know. Savannah's standing by somebody who I thought may have been like maybe a boyfriend at first. No, that would be kind of odd to bring a boyfriend to this. And then I'm thinking, these are probably cousins because Cody has brothers and sisters that live in this area still. In fact, one of the brothers took over the ranch when Grandpa Wynn passed away. So it looks like that the kids invited Christine and her kids, Cody and Robin and their kids, as well as cousins. And Cody and Robin opted not to come or bring their kids.
It's not safe.
Then we go to Cody, and there's a huge segment on Cody. It just gets worse. As the whole thing goes on, he keeps repeating himself. I will admit, I got a lot going on this week, and I have very, very little time to do this editing. So I don't have time to pull up and just prove to you all the times he keeps saying the same thing, which is how many times he is going on a pilgrimage. We could have made pilgrimage a drinking word for this, but we're not going to. It's a pilgrimage. According to Cody and Robin. Nobody else was calling it a pilgrimage. We didn't see the pilgrimage. We don't know if he was in the car on the way up. I mean, the pilgrimage is the journey, isn't it? It's not the destination. Isn't the pilgrimage the journey? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I misunderstand what the word means. It's possible. And again, it's very late on Sunday night. I don't have time to look things up today. Maybe Cody's right. I'm wrong.
Just checking for flying pigs.
It's not likely. But I suppose stranger things have happened. I've always thought of pilgrimage as a journey. Anyway.
It is.
We saw no pilgrimage. All of a sudden, Cody stops just to show some property that is part of the Brown property, that's part of the, ranch. He shows it to Robin and the kids. Don't know why. Don't know why this was more important than going fishing with the whole rest of the family either. This is what they chose to do.
Me, Robin, and the kids have been here for a few days, and now we're here at the ranch, and it's really kind of me wanting to tell the kids of these stories that I had as a kid. This trip is, like I've said, a pilgrimage.
Pilgrimage.
I've got these childhood memories that I'm going to share with my kids.
This is about you.
So Cody takes the kids onto the ranch. He tries to explain to them about riding a horse. We don't see any of the kids ride horses, but we do see Cody get on a horse and ride it. It's all about Cody. Oh, and of course he takes his girl. Robin gets on a horse with him. And that horse does not like it whatsoever.
Get off! Get off! Get off! Get off! Get off of me! Get off!
It's like moving around. I'm just ready for that thing to buck both of them right off. But that's okay. If they buck him off the horse, Cody knows what to do. He's going to go over to that horse. He's going to teach it a lesson. He's going to get right back on it. Even if Robin's laying on the ground, right? Because that's what he did to McKelty when McKelty got thrown from the horse. He's like, hey girl, you okay? There's people here to take care of you. I got to teach this horse a lesson. And he goes to the horse. Do you think that would have happened with Robin? Do you think so? Do you think he would have been like, Robin, sorry, gotta leave you. I gotta teach this horse a lesson. No. He would have called life flight. Would have been a whole different story for his Robin.
Warning.
Get ready to vomit a little bit in your mouth. Robin's feelings towards Cody when she found out that he could ride a horse.
Because he was so knew what he was doing, so in control. It's a lot of fun. It's rare,
Ew, gross.
It's yummy.
Oh, gross.
Yay. Cody can ride a horse. Moving on. So then we have a clip, and we go in and out of talking head interviews with Cody. where he gets emotional. And then I start to think, oh, okay. Then I go back to he's a dad who lost a son. But he makes it all about himself again. It's all about me. His sentences begin with me, and I did this and I did that. And so he talks about the fact that he needed to do this pilgrimage again.
Oh boy, here we go again.
We mention it again. Fine. But then he says that things aren't going well with him and Janelle. It was awkward. He had to call her up and say, listen, I really want to do this pilgrimage with my son. Is it okay? Will you let me do it? And he admitted that Janelle was very kind and sweet and understanding, even though the two of them are not getting along at all right now. And she said, I think that would be a really sweet thing to do. And Cody can't just leave it at that. He can't just say, God bless Janelle, or that's a mother's heart speaking. Nope, gotta leave it with Cody making it about himself here at the end, because that's what Cody does. And it's like I would get emotionally pulled in, and then he would say something that would yank me back out in this episode. And that's what bothered me about it. I'm like, I'm trying to be on your side, Cody. I'm trying really hard. He's making it difficult for me. Impossible.
Experience because I'm not getting along with Janelle. But I asked her if I could do this. And she said, I think that'd be really sweet. And I'm glad that she saw it that way, because I need this.
I need this. It's about you. It's not about Garrison. It's not about Janelle. It's about you. Okay, fine. So let's just say he really needs it. Let's just say it's a father's heart who's grieving. It's a father who realized he had done wrong. And he's really grieving because there was this void in the relationship for a few years between him and this son who has now passed. And he'll never be able to make amends for the fight that they had. So because of that, he feels the need for himself to move on, to do this with Garrison and Robin and all the kids. Okay, he's doing it with Garrison. I really thought it was the two of them in the car. That's what I thought it was going to be. That's the picture I had in my head. The convertible. This is the perfect time for the convertible. His whole life, he had all these kids, 13 kids. He should have never had a convertible car. Never. Right now, in this moment, should have been him and Garrison. Just the two of them. Making this pilgrimage up the road, many states across. Just him talking to his son in that car. That's what should have been happening. That's the pilgrimage. They're in some car that I've never seen before. It's like they rented it. Did they fly to Wyoming? That's not a pilgrimage. Did he fly there? I don't know. I'm struggling. Okay, we're just going to move on. We're going to try to grab positive things out of this episode, people. That's what we're going to do. We're going to try to look at the bright side and find positive things. Which is kind of be hard to do because it's a episode about a funeral. Partly what might be making it difficult for me too is based on rumors. And I don't like to base things on rumors. I have no facts. Rumor is family did not want any cameras at this funeral. It was Cody and Robin, well, likely Cody, that invited TLC cameras to come to the funeral.
Let's switch topics.
A really quick clip back to the fishing scene. Just everybody hanging out, some people sitting down, but we see Axel catch a fish. And it's delightful. And Caleb's all excited, and Axel's all excited, and people are happy for him. And it's sweet and nice and a beautiful scenery. Gorgeous. This is what family's all about. So Cody now goes to the place where Garrison is going to be laid to rest. It's a cemetery where Cody's father, as well as Janelle's mother, is laid to rest. And according to Janelle, Garrison will be buried next to her mother. And that one day she will then be laid to rest next to Garrison. Now, Cody says he doesn't know if anybody owns the plots on the other side. Cody doesn't know what's going on. I don't like the fact that this scene is being filmed again. It seems the word that came up in the live stream tonight was performative. That's what people were saying. And I'm like, I just agree with that. It's a perfect word. Whoever said it, it was just right. This whole, he even had like a little thing about how, oh, I'm going to lay him to rest. I'm going to dig it myself. It's very, this whole digging the hole feels very cowboy, very Old West. And he's talking about an Old West train taking a casket. Like he's painting this picture of an Old West movie that he's seen that I just,
To me, this act of taking my son home, I mean, honestly, it's a throwback to something old cowboy in a way, a casket on a train, and I'm riding with the casket, back to home.
He's not making it about him and Garrison. He's not even making it about nostalgia. At the beginning, he said, oh, I like this place because it's nostalgic. Nothing nostalgic about this now. Now he's trying to make it seem like he's cool. He's the cowboy. And this is really cool, like a Wild Wild West movie. I don't... Maybe this is his way to grieve. Maybe this is his way to grieve, Jenny. Maybe this is his way to grieve. Maybe he needs to pretend like he's a cowboy and play it out in a movie or something.
Yeah, this is like an old West country cemetery, and I'm going to dig the grave.
Everyone grieves differently. I've seen real tears come out of his eyes, so I know the man grieves. I don't want to take that away from him. I don't. I just don't know if he's flipping back and forth between things, and he says some of this stuff for the camera, or because he wants to come across as being cool or something. I'm not sure. This is not what I expected. It's just not what I expected, I guess. I'm surprised. I'm surprised by how this episode was going because I felt like TLC really did a good job 2 episodes ago, and then last episode did okay. The whole Cody Robin part threw me off, and now it's like they've gotten worse. At any rate, at the cemetery, Cody's brother-in-law, Tim, is there, as well as his brother. I can't remember his name. His brother's there also. Tim, I remember, just because Tim is the one who's going to speak at the burial site when they actually lay Garrison to rest in the ground. Now they're going to dig a hole for the urn.
Well, this is a pilgrimage for me. It's about bringing my boy home and putting him in the ground.
They're digging it substantially larger than they need to. I don't really remember Cody's reason behind it, but he just felt compelled to dig a big hole because it was more significant or something. I wrote something down about it. Oh, it was another experience. There's so many experiences. Because of the nature of this episode, I'm not going to be able to keep going back. No joke, there's probably 10 times in this episode he used the word experience. I just don't want to be disrespectful to Garrison. I really don't. So we're just going to let him slide. Basically, he wants the experience of digging a big spot for Garrison. I don't know why it needed to be big, but he said that's what he wanted to do. Okay. And he said that these 2 men that are there, his brother and his brother-in-law, were important to be there. He didn't need them. He could have dug the hole. He was very clear. Lest anybody get confused, Cody did not need help to dig this hole. But they were there for emotional support. Also, this was the men group who helped nurture Garrison to maturity. The men group.
Let's take a short break.
Experience coming up, get ready to drink. We're going to do this one simply because Gabe contradicts him. So it's a little bit funny. So here we go.
One of the biggest experiences that Garrison had out here.
Experience!
Was bringing the herd in on a day-long drive where they started up 4 a.m. The air was so dry, he got a bloody nose. Sent me a picture of it.
I was on that cattle drive with him. I think I might have given him that bloody nose. I remember because he was on the four-wheeler and the rest of us were walking. And I remember being really pissed because he wouldn't let me ride on the four-wheeler with him when I was tired. And I think that I just punched him square in the nose.
Thanks, Gabe, for clarifying. Boys will be boys in that family, right? Gosh, they were the typical boys. They would fight, but then they were close. Cody again mentioning about the pilgrimage. Okay. We use the word a lot.
Too much.
And then we have Robin in her own words repeat the same thing.
Is it important to you to dig the hole? I remember you talking about it and bringing certain equipment with us on our trip. It was a big deal to you.
Yeah.
It seemed like the way you explained it was like it was a ceremony, just digging the hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this, Cody basically comes out and says when they were at the funeral home, back when they did the other funeral, Cody admits that his boys were taking over, as they should. They are now grown men, as Cody always wanted them to be, as he indicated they were when they were 18. Now they're many years older, and they were stepping up and handling the situation, dealing with things, and basically Cody admits he told them, stop, I'm the dad, I held them first. Again, the same thing he said in the previous episode, but he's just using different words. But basically is, I'm the first one that held them, I'm the dad. Not appropriate right now, Cody, not appropriate. Humble thyself. Please be grateful that your boys want to step up and handle things. What a blessing that is. Oh, I don't want to be upset with Cody. I pray that whether he had Garrison with him or not throughout this, because we will see later on that when he's digging this hole, he doesn't have Garrison. Mitch has the urn because Mitch was creating a new urn specifically and specially for Garrison, which was beautiful and amazing, and what an incredible tribute. When Mitch received the urn and Garrison's ashes, I don't know. Maybe just recently. Maybe Mitch made the whole urn a long time ago, brought it up, and like that day was transferring. I don't know. It's very unclear. I don't know if this is poor editing on TLC's part or Cody and Robin's poor language in the way they're explaining what's happening. But I blame TLC. Well, it's Puddle Monkey. It's Puddle Monkey's fault. Why is it Puddle Monkey's fault? Because we do not have a producer asking the appropriate questions. We are not getting clarification on exactly who took Garrison up there, when Mitch made this urn for Garrison. It was like a throwaway line on the part of Cody. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. But what I was addressing before is just the fact that at the actual funeral, Garrison's brothers stepped up and were handling things, and Cody didn't like it. And this is what he said.
It's an act, I remember telling my boys, my older boys, when we were at the funeral home, I was like, they're taking over. They're running the show, and I'm like, stop, please. I was the first one that held him.
So we get to the day of the burial, and the cameras held back as they should have. But the brother-in-law was mic'd. He did a lovely job. He started it off with a joke. He did the Princess Bride line, marriage, which Garrison would have loved. He also showed up wearing a Hawaiian shirt, which Garrison, his Hawaiian shirts, even though at the military memorial service, everybody was wearing Hawaiian shirts. And apparently, according to Janelle, he was going to start his own line, or maybe he had already started his own line of Hawaiian shirts. So his uncle was wearing a Hawaiian shirt and Hawaiian shorts. They did not match, which was funny too. And he had very white legs, which was also very funny. It just the whole appearance of him as the step-in minister, if you will, for the service. It was good. It was good. And Garrison would have appreciated it. And Janelle mentioned that as well. It was nice. At the funeral, I think we see the back of Mary hugging Gabe and Logan, Cody's mom. Hayden the whole time was just wiping tears away from his eyes. Cody's mom was really hitting hard. She was sitting in a chair by the graveside and she was crying throughout the whole thing. We do see Logan go up to Robin and her kids and hug all of them.
I've got the urn, the new urn. Garrison's remains are in this new urn, and it's different.
I think there's other words that Cody could have used that were more positive than that. Those are words that you usually use when you don't like something, but you're trying to think of something positive to say. He could have even just said cool. Like anything positive. That's sort of like a, it's like interesting, unique. It's different. Yeah, that's like one of those kind of words that when you don't know what to say and you just want to say something because you don't want to say nothing. That's what it felt like, what he said.
Garrison was always pretty intrigued by Norse culture. You know, our son-in-law, Mitch, Aspen's husband, is a very talented carpenter and carver and all of that.
He built an urn that was shaped and looked just like a Viking ship.
I do think it was really cool that Mitch did that. At the very end, Cody gets down into the hole that he had dug, and Janelle hands the urn to him. Janelle said even though her and Cody are really struggling and they don't like each other very much right now, basically they're fighting with each other, in that moment, they were just parents. Janelle she's a strong woman. She's a strong woman, and she rose above, and she was the bigger person. She did what was right for both of them, and Garrison, but really for her and for Cody, for the whole family, really, for the whole family. After that, anyone who wanted an opportunity to put anything with Garrison in the ground with him could, and Peyton, his got me, I guess. Peyton had Garrison's dog tags. And so Peyton said, okay, I've got yours now, you've got mine. So he gave his dog tags to Garrison and laid them to rest with him.
He's been a big part of my life because he has been my military leadership. I have his tags, so I gave him my tags, and his tags will hang on me forever. And I made sure to hang mine on the boat so that mine will hang with him forever.
Garrison was playmate. He was my playmate for all of my life. He was my arch nemesis and my best friend and beloved brother. And Garrison, I served in Garrison was my first lieutenant commissioned officer. And this was my hat that I got my first police in Garrison.
I do believe when Logan got down to put something with Garrison that Michelle came over and kneeled down next to him. You could just see from behind, but it was like her hair, and she had a hat on, so you couldn't tell, but somebody who had her hair and who was rubbing his back. And then that was it, and then we didn't see her again. But it also looked like she may have had a camera with her, so she may have been documenting for the family this day. Again, that's just for people who are not able to see it at all and just want to know who's there. I know in the live stream, a lot of people were saying, so who's there now and who's there now? Okay, it was lovely. We couldn't hear what everybody said. It's not our place to hear what everybody said. I would have loved to heard what everybody said. Personally, it was, but I mean, enough tears. We really didn't need to. It's nice that they shared a portion of it with us. And Woody's mom, Grandma Janelle, that was hard. And Christine just got on her hands and knees by his gravesite, and that got me too. There was a lot of emotion, understandably. This is what I thought the whole episode was going to be. Not that we needed a whole hour of this, but like this was touching, this was sentimental, this felt real, this didn't feel performative, this didn't feel like acting, not nearly being able to understand or feel it on the level that they are, but I am appreciative that they did sign off and share some of it with us. And again, they didn't have to, and if they wouldn't have, I would have been fine with that too. I would have completely understood. After the funeral, back at we think it's a B&B that everybody was staying at in a nearby city. It's not in Lovell, but I can't remember the name of the city. It was at the very top of the episode. Everybody's there, not Cody and Robin and their family, of course. They're all staying in Cody, Wyoming. but the whole rest of the family is there. There's one little clip where Maddie is talking about how she's upset with Cody to Leon.
Like, so with Cody, it's like, I'm angry at the way things happened, but I can control how I react and how I reciprocate. And I'm still deciding how I do that. I'm sad for him, and I'm really sad for Robin's kids. And like, if I had a conversation with any of them, I'd be like, I have nothing against you. And if I've ever done anything to hurt you, I'm sorry. Like, I would love to have a conversation with them. I'm not sure what to say other than that. Like, if I ever caused you pain, I'm sorry.
And it's really sweet to see the episode end with the older brothers hanging out with their younger nieces and nephews. Gabe is going to set off fireworks with Axel. Scares me, but Caleb said okay. And at the end, they're all sitting around the fire, shooting some fireworks off and just being family.
So, Dad, can I do this one little game?
Yes, you can.
All right, come on, bud.
You see the sky? Sky.
It was a very sweet ending to, I don't want to say a whole sad episode, because it was a frustrating episode that dramatically became a very sad and sentimental and sincere episode that then evolved into the "and life goes on" episode. Watching the family get together, watching them laugh, watching them gather. It was nice. So TLC for the last 10%, thumbs up, maybe 20%. What did you think? I hope Cody truly was able to work through his grief. I hope he was able to mourn. I hope the parts that seemed performative were not, and it was just my interpretation of him because he's an over-the-top person in general. Maybe it was sincere on his part, but it seemed very performative.
That's a bit of a stretch.
It was very frustrating to watch him. And I hope my interpretation of his delivery of lines and the way he was on and on and on talking about a pilgrimage that didn't seem like a pilgrimage. I will say the digging of the hole felt therapeutic, if you will. Use the word pilgrimage. I think he likes pilgrimage because it kind of goes along with Wild Wild West and old stuff. I think it was symbolic, healing, therapeutic, and something that maybe Cody needed to do. Part of his process of moving on. So I think that was good. I couldn't make the connection other than that. Maybe there was more and they just didn't show it on the show. There's me giving more grace. Look at that. I'm growing. Okay, everybody. That's it. Next week, the Tell Nothings begin. How fun. We'll all watch them be asked questions and not answer, and then have no follow-up questions. Again, for another season. Lest we be surprised. And Suki decides to give follow-up questions.
Fat chance.
I doubt it, because she's seen past hosts get fired right and left when they ask hard-hitting questions, so she's not going to do it. She wants the paycheck.
Well, I can't blame her for that.
And it's infuriating to watch. But we're in it together. That's all for this week, sister friends. Take care, God bless, adios, and I will see you next week. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.